Hello, beautiful world. Here we are, day 12, over halfway through our 21 days of fear. And if you're just tuning in today for the very first day, go back and watch the 11 days that have come before this one. Today, the title of this video is "What is in front of you reveals what is hidden from you." And the idea for this video was essentially coming in from an experience that I've been having. And for me, on my path of healing my fears, my traumas, my pains, and stepping into my gifts and sharing those gifts through my soul-aligned work in the world. Whenever there is something that keeps showing up in my environment, in my world around me, that is a direct reflection of what is happening within me that I might not be able to see. Something that has been coming up since I released Fearlessly Express, this 21-day challenge, is there's a lot of resonance with it. A lot of people are reaching out to me about it. And they're all saying the same thing. I really want to do this. I feel an urgency to do this, and I can't afford it. So this was really interesting for me to sit and reflect on, because what is in front of us reveals what is hidden from us. So what's happening in our environment, what's coming up in our lives, shows us what's going on internally. And this one was interesting for me to sit with, because this program, the conversations that are coming through, all saying the same thing, I recognized it's not actually about money, because if it were, then the one-on-one programs that I lead that are 3 times the cost that people effortlessly pay in full regularly for, that wouldn't be happening if there was an internal belief that said, I can't afford this. So I wanted to go deeper. I realized it's not about the money. What I found within myself was that there was actually a resistance to healing, a resistance to letting go of the trauma, of the stories, of all the things, and actually feeling not worthy of healing. So that feeling of being unworthy to heal, which is a core program of anyone who is still in trauma cycles, that's showing up through the stress and the fear and the chronic pain and everything that we've been talking about up until this point, day 12. When we're starting to look at something that we want to do for ourselves, and we create a world where we can't afford it, we're talking about our worth and our worthiness and the deeper patterns that I recognize within myself, because what is in front of me reveals what is hidden from me. Where these stories of being unable to heal, these stories of feeling unworthy to heal, these stories of like actually punishing myself for the trauma that was experienced. Like the little 3-year-old version that was molested was punishing herself for that molestation and viewing herself as unworthy to heal. So healing wasn't the priority, because there is always money available. There are always resources available. It's just, are we prioritizing our healing? And the number of people now that have said the same exact thing, I'm seeing that this is a deeper thread hiding behind those of us that have experienced trauma, hiding and bound in our central nervous system. And something that is very important to understand is that our central nervous system is a magnetic pole. It responds to magnets, like actual magnets healing it, because it itself is magnetic. So when our central nervous system is compromised, which anyone who has unhealed trauma, stress, anxiety, depression, pain, all these things are symptoms of an dysfunctioning, better yet said, nervous system. So when our nervous system is not able to function properly, our magnetic energy is draining. We become less magnetic to pull in that which is going to allow ourselves to provide for ourselves. And because we get into these programs of survival mode, anything that's going to take us out of survival mode threatens that program. And these stories of, I can't heal this, I don't want to let this go, I deserved it. I deserved this pain, so I don't deserve to heal it. So I can't afford it, or I don't have time, or yada, yada, yada. All the surface level excuses for why we're not prioritizing our healing now come up to address the deeper thing that's happening, which is there's parts of us that feel like because we're in that victim mode in our wounds, the victim looks for a perpetrator and a rescuer. And that will oftentimes be reflected back in on ourselves to blame ourselves or shame ourselves or guilt and blame and judge ourselves for our experiences that were traumatic. Well, my skirt was too short, so I was asking to be raped, or my bra was hanging out, so I was subconsciously asking for this attention. These stories show up over and over and over again to dismiss our pain, to dismiss our trauma, and to keep us then not prioritizing our healing because we are internally blaming ourselves for what happened. And that blame can actually expand out to spiritual energies. It can expand into our higher centers where we blame ourselves for our karma. Well, this is my karma, so I deserve to be molested, or I deserve to be abandoned by my family, or I deserved XYZ. And that keeps us then stuck from actually prioritizing our healing because we're victimizing our own victimhood. Right? We're perpetrating ourselves over and over and over again. So this is something that has been a huge breakthrough for me in the last 24 hours, which is why it's today, day 12, to see where I myself was playing into these stories. Because I recognize that through these people's reflection, money is not the story. If it was, it would show up in other areas of my life. It was something deeper. That in order for all of these women and all these men who are feeling like this is something urgent for them to prioritize in their lives and are having surface level stories come up to say, no, I can't prioritize this right now. There is something being hidden from you that is resisting feeling worthy of healing. Because if you know something is for you, then it's for you. No excuses. The universe will move mountains to ensure whatever is for your healing will be made available for you. There is no buts about it. And when we live in a but world, We stop ourselves every time through our victimhood from doing what is going to support us to heal. Bringing our nervous system back into harmony and back into function makes us more magnetic. We will be able to prioritize the healing of ourselves, and our nervous system will say, okay, time to be a bit more magnetic. Let's make this happen. It's time to release. We first have to get past these fear programs that say, I want to do this, but I want to go 10 days to Vipassana because I'm having mental disturbances, but I don't have the time to take off work, or I can't have childcare, or I don't have whatever it is. I want to do this program that my soul is saying this is what it's going to take to heal these traumas that keep coming back, but I don't have the money. I can't afford it. Those buts are the surface. They're hiding something deeper within you. And oftentimes that can be revealed to you based on what is in front of you. And you might be hearing the crazy puppies barking right now. We have a dear friend staying with us for the month, so any extra movement creates anyways, what is happening in your reality? There is nothing outside of you. Nothing is outside of yourself. Everything is a part of you. So there is no external world that's out there. It's all a part of you. So what is showing up in your environment that appears to be outside of yourself is to reveal what is hiding from yourself. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. If it's time for you to heal, prioritize it. Release the I can'ts and the buts and demand that the universe moves mountains for you to heal, because it will. Something that I practice. Language is everything. Words create our world. So I've been in experiences where it has appeared that there was no financial resources for these massive investments were coming through. And instead of saying I can't, when I know it's what I want and what is going to help me to move through whatever is urgent in my life to move through, I say, I don't know how. I know I can afford this. I don't know how. I know I have time for this. I don't know how. I know I have the resources for this. And you stay in that space of, I don't need to know how, because the universe is going to open up the doors and bring in the finances and move time around and cancel something else that's not urgent to make space for what is urgent. We don't need to know how. We just must know that we can, because we can. There is nothing that is impossible. Even the word says, I am possible. Right? When you're starting to prioritize what is going to support you to heal and grow and expand in your health, in your wealth, in your relationships, in your peace of mind and emotion, there are going to be areas that you have to shift your priorities around. And one of them is going to be how you're prioritizing, how you talk about that which is urgent for you. Because if you continue to talk about that which is urgent for you to change and to heal through the lens of I can't or the buts, then it's never going to happen. And this urgency is going to continue to pressure you and to create distress and anxiety and fear and dis-ease in your life. And I'm just tuning into, hey Amanda, this has been a big learning for me, is to let go of the how and trust. The shifts that happen from that is incredible. Absolutely. when we let go of the how, when we let go of what appears to be in our reality, what appears to be in our schedule or in our bank account, and we just trust that we can afford it energetically, whether that's the time or the money or the resources or the opportunities or the connections or the spaces, anything that's energy. When we know that we can afford it because we are energy and we have an infinite supply, and we state, I can afford it, it will show up. And I not only have my own examples of this, I have seen this in the lives of my clients and in the lives of my friends. I'm going to share just one story with you here. When I was ready to leave working in restaurants, I worked in restaurants for many years after college, because after college I was like, I cannot go into the government, which was what my plan was. And I just need to plug this in here. At that time, I was knowing, okay, this can no longer be my reality. And I guess this is going to be, let's see how we can set this up here. I guess I'll hold it. Okay. So at this time, I was like, I can no longer do this. This is absolutely no. I was already starting to see clients part-time, working out of my home. I had classes out of my home. This was when I was living in LA. And I was still doing this restaurant work that was draining all of my energy and my time to be devoted on my healing and my soul work. So I'm driving to this restaurant and I'm like, okay, I need $2,000. And if I make $2,000 this weekend, I will walk away from this restaurant and I will quit it all. I had one more month left on my lease and I was willing to let go of everything. Now this restaurant, you were lucky if you made $50 in a night. So I'm going in Friday night, closing shift, and the restaurant is empty. There's no one there. And I did not drop out of my knowing that I was going to be leaving that restaurant, the restaurants, for good, and that $2,000 was coming my way to make that happen. So I have no tables, none. And this other server comes up to me and says, hey, you're the closer. I want to leave. I have this $300 tab and I'm over it. He just wanted to go. Will you take this table? They're about to check out. And I'm like, yeah, for sure. I'll take it, whatever. So I go and start talking to this table and introduce myself and just sharing my life, sharing a story with them. And they ask for the tab. And when I give them the tab, I run their card and he asks me to stay there while he's signing the tab. Which, you don't usually do that. It's just courtesy. You walk away and you come back when they're done. And after he signed it, he handed it back to me and I put it into my little apron and he said, no, I want you to look at it and make sure that I gave you enough on a $300 tab. And I'm like, this is strange. Okay, so I open it up and I look at the tip and this man tipped me $2,000. The exact amount that I said I need to change my life. And that was the only table I had that night. And it was given to me by another server. I didn't even serve them. The key here was that not once in that night did I become disempowered in what I knew to be truth. I did not for a second doubt that this money was showing up so that I could heal and change my life. I didn't say I'm not going to be able to do this. It's not going to happen. How is this going to be possible? None of it. I just kept walking around like it's done. Like the universe knows it's time. I have an urgency to move forward. And it showed up exact to the T, the amount that I needed to move forward. That's one of many stories that I have just like that. When we know what is ready for us to grow and expand, and we are absolutely committed to it, and we will not cancel it out for ourselves through saying I can't or I but da 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 da. Something that my mentor taught me years ago was to remove the word but from my vocabulary, and it's one of the best decisions that I have made. And if you've worked with me one-on-one, you know that I have instilled that in you as well, because we cancel ourselves out when we say this word but. I want to do it, but I can't. So in wrapping this up right now, I just want you to know that you can prioritize your healing right now. It's a choice that you make. So choose yourself. Look at what's in front of you to reveal what needs to happen within you so that you can heal. Because your healing is going to change the world. So prioritize and be in urgency. And instead of saying, I can't afford it, say to yourself, I don't know how, I can afford this. And watch as the universe brings you exactly what you need to heal. So that is all I've got for you today. If you're just joining in with me, pop in and watch it once the replay goes up. If this is your first day, day 12 of 21 Days of Fear, there are 11 days before this. You can find them on Instagram TV, you can find them on my Facebook page, or you can find them on my YouTube page, which is at Rainbow Jones. Go subscribe over there on YouTube. There's a lot of fun stuff on that page as well. That being said, this is leading us into an incredible journey of healing and growth and expansion, of becoming stress-free, worry-free, fearlessly expressed, which you can check out at the link in my bios. And if you have any question at all, I am Ahomna. It is my pleasure and honor to support you in bringing balance and harmony into your life so that we together can heal and grow and change and evolve and share our soul's gifts with this world. So I will see you tomorrow for day 13. I hope that you have a beautiful day or evening wherever you are at in the world. Bye.